brother's name is Greg Ramsey Jr. He was a junior named after my dad. I liked growing up with him. He was super laid back. He was the only guy in our house, and you couldn't bother him. He liked to just play games with us, whether it be Barbies or have us play his video games, and he just didn't care for the most part. He was, I don't know, just a sweet boy. It was the Friday before Thanksgiving, and I was getting ready for my own life, doing my own thing. I was in the middle of a praise and worship session when my phone kept ringing, and I thought it was really weird because my sister would never call me 3 or 4 times in a row. So I stepped out and I answered it, and she told me he's gone. And just in that bluntness, I was like, what are you talking about? She just kept repeating it over and over again. He's gone, he's gone. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, Greg. And I'm like, what happened to Greg? And just the thought of, she didn't even get done saying it before I immediately wailed. And next thing you know, I'm sitting there on the ground sobbing while one of my friends takes the phone and is listening. And the look that she gave me had me realizing that it was true, that he was gone, that he had passed away. And I asked her what happened, because I know my sister had told her, and she couldn't even get the words out of her mouth of the fact that he committed suicide. At first, I praised God through it all, which was so weird. I listened to worship music the entire 3-hour drive, and I just sat there just praising God, knowing that he has a reason for this. I wasn't angry whatsoever at him, and I just didn't understand, but I wasn't angry. So I went home and I just became the strong hand for my whole family. Then as time went on, I became more and more depressed as I was looking for myself. I never actually coped with it, that I got lost in the midst of everything that was going on. So I didn't turn away from God, but I took a step back. I wasn't as excited to read my Bible. I wasn't excited to worship. I wasn't excited to have that one-on-one time, because when I did, I felt empty and I felt alone, and I hated that feeling. Normally I'm happy, I'm bubbly, I'm excited, and so I stepped away from all of that, which meant I was stepping away from God. And eventually I fell apart, and I sat there in worship one day and I felt empty, and I cried out to God, why do I feel empty? I don't understand. And just like when I got saved, he spoke to me in worship and told me that he's never failed me. So I kept going, and I kept persisting, where I made sure I took time to be alone with the Lord. And little by little, he helped heal my heart, where I still have a lot of questions, and they're still hurting there, and there always will be, but I know that God still has never failed me yet, and he never will.